Welcome to the program, everybody. Someone on TikTok, I'm at billionaire.lives, by the way, on TikTok. This lady was trying to defend Elon Musk. She was literally defending Elon Musk as he's taking a metaphoric chainsaw to federal jobs. So she was saying, well, Elon Musk just literally paid $1 billion in taxes. Elon Musk in 2023 received $8 million in federal grants from the US government per day. It added up to $3.1 billion for the year. That's how much he received. That's how much he received in subsidies from the government. So any income over $1 billion at this point, we've got to tax it at least 80%. These stupid wars, the Pentagon can't account for at least $7 trillion. That's fraud. We continue to send weapons over to Israel. You know, this other guy was making the argument, well, if we taxed the top 1% at 100%, it would take at least, a decade to cover the debt. Well, that's where we're at. It's going to take decades. But we need to stop with these stupid wars, because all it's doing is lining the pockets of these corrupt officials. That's what's going on. And we have Professor Richard Wolff, who's going to go into a little bit more detail about
in the world, and roads and highways and schools and hospitals. The answer is you borrow. And you borrow because you can. Because the whole world is busy parking the dollars that they need in the form of treasury securities. So we go into debt. Our debt is now $35 trillion, and our GDP is about $26 or $27 trillion. You see the problem. And a week ago Monday, the Japanese, one of the most docile allies the United States has had since the Second World War, for the first time said, it is too risky. You cannot ask us to lend you more money. I should mention, the United States is the biggest debtor country in the world, and the number one creditor of the United States is Japan, and the number two is the People's Republic of China, and therein lies more than I can explain in many hours. Just remember what I just said. You will understand where we are. So what is Mr. Trump doing? He's desperately trying to deal with the impossible situation of the American government's finances in the conditions we now face. It's trying to bring down the spending more aggressively than anyone has done, and he's trying to bring up the income of the government more aggressively. When it comes to cutting spending, that is, as I'm sure you and your audience know, the wholesale canceling of half of what the federal government does. This has nothing to do with efficiency, which it isn't. It is an exercise in whatever the opposite of efficiency is. That's what we're watching. And everybody with half a brain knows it. This is not about efficiency. This is about taking care of business by slashing whatever the government does, because whatever damage that does is less than the existential risk of being unable to borrow, which is the way this empire has been held together.